Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent game,
Still first
but all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Riddick. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come at 11. Out of the gun, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Rodgers now on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Tight coverage that time by Miles Killebrew. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On the ground, it's Riddick. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw is Stafford. Roberts with it over the middle. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Stafford now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, the arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
Jackson now to return. A little 360.
Oh,
and not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Now he'll throw deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 43 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the...
This one down to the 25. There on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And not much of a hold there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 coming up. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Get reset. Hey, easy. 3/19 and on.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And Crosby puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here comes Johnson on the return. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Catch made right side by Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw, Stafford. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Stafford looks to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the Packers get set to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all. My man, I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
2nd and 10, Stafford again.
And this one is incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Wasn't it fun in pregame standing downstairs and watching Matthew Stafford throw the football? I mean, that bad boy just whistled.
He can just rock it.
It just whistled by us, didn't it? But what is the one knock on him? Accuracy. Yeah. And that's what we just saw there, an incompletion on that throw downfield.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions add on to their lead. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was. And
he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On second down, Montgomery. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So out now come the Lions. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To the right and complete to Galladay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To the air again, Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now it's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point good by Prater. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing in the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
319, 358.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 37. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Crosby on now to kick it away. Now here's Johnson. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions take. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Jackson now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The left side completion to Jones. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
Catch made right side by Wilson. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They go play action here on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. And it'll be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers on the move to his left. He's got a man. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Box it.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Throwing is Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. And play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something. So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out. And the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. On the sneak, Rodgers. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line lower than the defensive front.
And he will get into the end zone, but there is a flag down. This one may be coming back.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Rodgers now to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Riddick with a carry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Drill right, 22. Set, 280.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 11. The shotgun snap for Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with it.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
26.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Now Riddick. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Detroit! The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Lions take advantage of the turnover to put up 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Prater for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Rodgers now on 1st down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Teez Tabor. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jabal Sheard able to get him for a loss of about 3.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? For this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Fights off the defender. Oh, refusing to go down. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. In possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They go back to Riddick. And a gain there of 11 yards.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The 1st-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Detroit, They're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.